Congratulations to Army. They beat us every which way possible. They're well coached. They execute at a high level. Coach Munkin and that staff have really done an incredible job with that program. It's really impressive to see where they were and where they've come from. You know, I think, you know, in that game, early in the game, I thought our defense was playing great. We were moving the ball on offense. We had a couple of costly penalties that really hurt our ability to stay on the field and keep their offense off the field. You know, I think which is really, really disappointing. The hard part about that scheme is just the kind of the consistent monotony of it, the infuriating intricacies of how different it is, and that there in the third quarter after our second or third or fourth turnover, I felt like the dam broke a little bit with our defense, but I thought they'd been playing pretty well until then. You turn the ball over 4 times in a game, you're going to lose. Like in coaching, that's kind of a benchmark, right? If we can force 4 turnovers, we're going to win the game. That's kind of, we did that in a quarter. We did 3 in 1 quarter, and then the other one at the beginning of the fourth. So literally in a very small time time frame there, and you're just not going to recover from that. I thought, the personal foul at the end of the game was embarrassing and awful and wrong, and I'll address that I've already addressed it with the team and that young man, but there's just no place for that. And so this was a total gut punch for our program. I felt like we had been making great progress. I was actually encouraged about our week of practice, and what it shows is that we're not ready yet to make the next move, I think. We could not overcome the back-to-back-to-back, I think that's right, turnovers in the third quarter, and we have to be more resilient than that. So I need to coach this team better. I need to find a way to help us sustain drives on offense and protect our quarterbacks. We need to do a heavy dose of ball security in our practice environment for our offensive football team, and we need to get better. And so, the good news is that we have practice tomorrow, and we get to go back to work, and we get to fixing it, and that's the only thing we can do. Obviously our team is upset and hurt and broken a little bit, but tough crap. It's football. That's the way it goes. And so we got to find a way to dig in and get better and get the right people on the field and get the guys playing with enough effort and execution that gives us a chance to win. Questions?
Coach, with what the team or the coaches saw in film preparation on Army, assuming obviously there's a game plan, do you think it was maybe not executing game plan, or maybe the game plan wasn't adjusted as the game went along with just everything that happened?
I think just those turnovers that, right, every time we did that, it was in minus territory. Right, every time we gave them the ball, it was on our side of the 50. Right, so not only did we give them a possession, we gave them the ball in a short field. And, like early on, I thought our defense was playing their tails off. We got beat on the switch vertical, and it was hard because they ran speed option at the edge, and our safety is a support player in that. And so that was unfortunate. And but they rallied, and we had 3 and outs, and we were playing good defense. And at times we were moving the ball on offense well too. So it's just obviously really frustrating, and they're credit to Army because they got after us.
Hi there. Can you just talk about the week leading up to this game? Were the players energized? Were the coaches energized about playing at Levi Stadium?
I think that was a really cool part of it. It was awesome to be here, really appreciative of the opportunity to play in such a great venue. I think the biggest thing is that they were just excited to play again. We'd had 2 tough losses in a row where we'd played good football, and so they were anxious to play again. And so we had a really good week of practice, and I think that's the the hardest part. And I think the lesson for us as a team is that no matter how bad it is, no matter what happens to you, you still have to answer the bell. You still have to play. 3 turnovers in a row, it doesn't matter. You still have to play. You still have to stop them. And so I think that's the, and after that happens once, the offense needs to answer. And they need to come on the field and move the ball and not turn it over and protect the quarterback and do things that it takes to move the ball. So there's just all kinds of things that we need to fix, and it all starts with me. And I'll get going on that as soon as I'm done here.
Coach, the offense seemed to move the ball down the field in the first quarter. Would you say it was more of Army's defense in the second quarter and in the second half that stopped your offense, or just kind of execution-wise that kind of fell apart?
Well, we lost 4 possessions on turnovers, and I would say that's a credit to Army's defense because they caused the fumbles. I also would say that it's a discredit, or it's our fault as an offense not protecting the ball. And so that's something that obviously we got to look at the tape and evaluate, what we were doing, what protection we called, did we ID it correctly, did we have extra protectors, was the tight end part of it, was the back part of it, did we slide it the right way, just all the things that we can do to give our quarterback a chance to not feel like he's just totally under fire back there.
Okay, so this season, fans were expecting you to see improvement, but we're halfway through the season. We're still seeing penalties like you were describing in your opening comments, including the one late penalty that you said was quite unacceptable. So given all that's happened with the improvement that fans have would acknowledge seeing in the past 2 weeks of Mountain West play, but now what happened today, how do you persuade fans who have been frustrated with the direction of the program that things are going to get better?
That's a good question. I would say, obviously, if you looked at how we played against Hawaii and Colorado State, obviously I can't speak to today. And when you turn it over like that, that's how the game flips that fast. That's how games flip that fast, right? And so, I think it is hard. I understand it's hard for our fans right now. Trust me, it's hard for these players, and it's hard for me. And we need to play better. And we know that, we have to play, whether the stadium's full or not. It doesn't matter. We got a game. And if you're a competitor, you're going to embrace that. And I think we got enough competitors on this team, and we got enough, this coaching staff, and we'll put a plan together, and we'll get ready to go play this weekend.
Coach, I know you've dealt with injuries at that position, but how do you get the run game going? You guys are ranked dead last in Division I football. How do you get the run game going? Is it the O-line? Do you just need more practice? How are you going to get the run game going?
Yeah, I think that it's a combination of those things. When sometimes it just depends on who you're playing and what they give you. That was a little bit of the case against Hawaii, right? If we got 500 yards of offense, I don't really care how it comes, But I thought there were some glimpses of the run game showing up today. Again, you turn it over 4 times, you lose 4 possessions. I have no idea what those numbers would have been if we got to play out those drives. But I think having Tyler back is a good thing. And I think that, those young players in that group need to continue to develop, Brandon Manigo and Michael Harris, a true freshman and a redshirt freshman. And some of the issues we're having, is a little bit of youth. But you know what? No one likes to hear that. It doesn't matter. And I don't even care. We still got to play better. So it doesn't matter if we're playing 10-year-olds out there. They need to play better. So we need to play better, and we need to coach them better, and we need to, take a look at what we're doing schematically and what we're doing, with the run game, and see if we're, asking our guys to do things they can't do, and find a way to, create some positive yardage on the ground.
We'll go here and then take one more.
Coming off what you just said, in terms of where do you view the team's balance in terms of youth and experience versus athleticism and talent, and where you need to be, or where you think to execute everything?
Well, I think that's ongoing. I think part of it is that we've had a couple guys unavailable today who normally play good football for us, and so that's always tricky. But I do think the college football, the lifeblood of it is always about recruiting players. I do believe in our senior class. They've worked extremely hard. They're awesome kids. They're awesome leaders. our captains, Josh Oliver and Bryson and Boogie and Dakari, I mean, those guys are great guys, and they're great representatives of San Jose State football. And they're hurting because they've put in so much work, and they need the rest of our group to catch up. And we got a young team that needs to mature. We need to grow up, and we need to understand the work and the time and the effort that this game requires to be good. And so we are beating that to death. But, you know, sometimes getting your ass kicked is the fastest way to figure that out. And maybe that's what today was.
Last one right here, Coach.
Sorry, Marie.
Coach, kind of getting back to the O-line. In the third quarter, you switched your quarterback, Carrillo. I don't know if, kind of two questions in one. I don't know if that was more on, like, Aaron's holding the ball too long, or if it was more on maybe the O-line, because Carrillo came in, he fumbled it, did the same thing that Aaron did back-to-back. So was that decision kind of more on, is it the QB, or was it the O-line in that?
Well, I think when Michael went in, he certainly didn't go in and try and fumble the football, right? He's a really great kid. He's another senior. He's worked extremely hard. He's one of the most well-respected kids on our team, and he's played really well in practice, right? And so with Josh being unavailable, we knew we were going to play Montel, but Michael had earned a chance. And we were going to we had talked at halftime about giving him a series in the second half. It just happened, you know, the optics of it is that, you know, we put him in because Montel fumbled. That wasn't the case at all. We were going to play him a series in the second half, and we thought it was going to be early. So after the fumble, that gave, you know, Coach Gundy and McGibbon a chance to talk to Montel. What are you seeing? What happened? That kind of thing. And then gave the chance for Michael to go out there. And unfortunately, you know, I think we got beat on a 7-man protection, which should not happen. And, you know, it ended up with the sack fumble. So, but like I said, in both those, all three of those situations, our quarterback could have done a better job of protecting the football. And so I got to fix that. That's what coaching has to fix, that, because when you're back there and it starts to get bad and there's lots of people around you, that ball needs to be high and tight, and you need to go down and protect the ball and give us a chance to play another down or to punt the football, which we didn't do. And we gave them the ball inside the 50-yard line 3 times in the first 3 series of the second half. And you have no chance to win when you do stuff like that.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have Bryson Bridges, Dakari Monroe, and we're hoping to get Tyler Nevens as well, but we're going to start with Bryson.
Hey, Bryson. How does it feel to play against a triple option team versus the spread versus what you did in Hawaii and UC Davis? What did that feel? What does it feel like with that kind of offense?
You know, for a D lineman, it's one of those games you kind of dread when you look on your schedule in preseason, because you know they're coming straight for your legs. You know, it was different, but you know, scout team this week gave us a really good look. It really prepared us this week, so we were able to play to the best of our abilities.
Bryson, you had a career-high 15 tackles in the game. Does that speak to your work ethic week in and week out this season?
Well, it really speaks to just our defense working together. I can only make plays if the guy next to me does his assignment. So really it talks and speaks about how, you know, we all work together as a defense. You know, Boogie, number 8, doing his job holding the center. It's a mundane task he has to do every single play, but for him doing that allows me to make plays. So.
Hey, Bryson, can you talk about specifically their offensive guard and their offensive linemen? It seems like they're a lot more athletic than your average lineman, because they're always constantly running. They're always, you know, kind of getting, just blocking all the time. Can you talk about that, their athleticism, and kind of the difference?
Yeah, really the only difference is, you know, normal offenses, they're more standing up, sit back type deal. And when you played against any triple option team, they're more 3-point. They're kind of like in our stances, 3-point stances. They're coming lower at you about hip level. So that's probably the difference between the two.
Hi there. Can you just talk about the defensive effort in the second half with turnovers in the offense? Was it hard to keep on going on in the second half, and the offense is just not moving the ball forward?
It's hard, especially, you know, the field position we get is challenging. But at the end of the day, we still have to play defense, and that's our job, is to stop them, either allow them not to score or at least force a field goal. So we went out there with that mindset every single time, no matter what offense did, because we can't control what offense does. We can only control what defense does.
Hey, Bryson, so clearly the outcome was not what you expected or wanted, but since you're a senior, how would you describe getting to play in an NFL stadium in your senior year?
It's really amazing. The last stadium I got to play in was Qualcomm when I was in when we played San Diego State, and then when I was playing Pop Warner. And so to play in a new environment and play up here with the 49ers and stuff, awesome experience. You know, no matter what the outcome is, it's something that I will always remember for the rest of my life.
Obviously, a lot of negatives today, but what can you possibly take away positive, let's say, from either a player or just a section of a team, or what might stick out in your mind?
I think, you know, no matter what the circumstances was for defense, we still went out there and had each other's backs. You know, even the poor field position at times, you know, put in situations we didn't necessarily want. But at the end of the day, we kept fighting. They kept trying to run the dive over and over and over and over again. So it really just speaks to our resilience, and we're just going to, you know, fix the things that we need to fix and carry that over to next week.
Bryson, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Dakari Monroe.
Hey, Dakari.
How you doing?
I watched you play from high school to now, and you seem like a natural out there. Do you kind of foresee a next level in your play?
Yes, definitely. That's been the goal since I came here, you know, to play at the next level. So definitely want to pursue that.
Dakari, normally you're cornerback. Obviously, your job is covering. But can you talk about the difference today with Army? Were you kind of more of a linebacker mindset, kind of because you know you're probably not going to be covering as much and going to have to get in there and tackle a lot more?
Yeah, that was definitely the mindset, knowing that all the corners had to be a little bit more aggressive today. But we still had to stay on our toes because, you know, as you see, they hit us with one pass, but we knew that was coming. And, yeah, we had to be more aggressive in this game plan specifically.
Dakari, was the Army offense an offense that you really haven't seen before, or maybe you have seen it on TV a couple times? Did you feel you were well prepared coming into this week?
Me personally, I have seen it. We played teams that run the triple option before. Like, they all have different variances, but the main scheme is the same. So I've been accustomed to the speed before, and you know, we weren't very prepared. Obviously today, you know, we got a lot of points scored on us. So.
Can you just talk about the experience of playing at an NFL stadium? Like, what general reaction? Was it a cool moment for you?
Personally, yeah, I've grown up a Niner fan, so it was cool to play in Levi's. But it's just like any other big stadium we played at. You know, just still got to play football.
Dakari, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we'll finish up with Tyler Nevens.
Hey, Tyler.
How's it going?
The position you play, obviously, do you view that purely as just effort and just heart versus like looking for holes, looking for blocks? I mean, is it all about just the running back talent? I mean, is it all you basically versus, you know, what wasn't there before in the last couple of games? You come in and show that you're a difference. Do you want do you want the ball more, and do you feel like you can do more?
I feel like whatever the game plan is, I'm all in for it, go all out. When you play the running back position, you gotta, you know, give it full effort, give it 100%, even though when the scores might not be in your favor.
Tyler, second game back from your injury since the first game of the season. How are you feeling coming back in the first two games?
I'm feeling good. I feel more comfortable. My injury took me a lot of time to, you know, gather myself, look at myself not only as a person but as a football player, and I think I've shown what I can do on the field.
Hey Tyler, your guys' offense rushing attack is ranked at the bottom in college football. What do you think you can do to help improve that number?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
Right now, you guys are ranked last in Division I football in rushing yards as a game. What do you feel like you yourself, like personally, you can bring to the team and help change those numbers and have a better positive outlook on that?
You know, just have that good energy. You know, being out there on the field. You know, just being a good spirited teammate through the bad things, through the good things, through everything. That's what we drive. We strive for that energy a lot, and you know, in the role that I'm in, I have to step up to deliver that for my teammates.
Tyler, last one right here.
Hi there. Knowing that Army's going to run the ball, did you know that, or was there a conscious effort in the offensive game plan to at least make more attempts to run the ball, stop them from, wearing out the defense? Was that something that the coaches and the game plan was for this week?
Yes, Army specifically. They're real strong in the box. They have a good, strong forward, and they have good linebackers. We try to use our run game as much as we can to open up passing game as well. We failed to execute that, but we're just going to come back next week stronger, look at our past mistakes from this game, just move forward.
Tyler, thank you for your time.
Thank you.